Yeah, I am a COVID survivor. My journey with Dr. Bhanu Prasad Garu and vitamin D3 has started last year around August, July and August. So I've been joining few Zoom meetings, and also I've been watching the vitamin D3 awareness programs in TV as well. So when I was listening to all this vitamin D3 awareness that he has been creating amidst us. It's been very convincing. So it happened to me that I called him and I spoke to him, and the he explained me how vitamin D3 has been helping COVID patients in recovering and the process. And even though I have a medical background, it's been tough for me to accept that truth as well. But I did my own research, and I've been going through research articles. And yes, so whatever Dr. Bhanu Prasad Garu has been saying, yes, it's actually there. The evidence is there in it's been there since many years. So the protocol that he has suggested, I myself have taken it, and I've also suggested my family members and my friends also to follow the same protocol. And ever since we have been using vitamin D3. And last month, even after I followed the protocol, like even after such huge doses, I've been deficient always. Like my D3 level has never passed 40 nanogram per ml. So I think that's the reason. Last month, I have been affected with COVID, and right now I'm here alive in front of all of you. I've recovered only with vitamin D3. My oxygen, there were days my oxygen levels went down to like 92, and there were days when I took like around 30 capsules of vitamin D3 60,000 units per day. Um, and also my family members have also been affected with COVID, and have also suggested the same vitamin D3 treatment to everybody, and we've all recovered. Whoever have used vitamin D3, we're all fine, we're all healthy, and we're all fine. So since then, I've also started. I've asked Dr. Bhanu Prasad Garu if I can help others in spreading this awareness and creating this awareness, and he agreed. And I would like to thank him for giving me this opportunity to serve different people and patients. So right now, I would like to present a few cases that I've been observing. Um, so this is case this is the first case. So this patient, he was 34 years old male. He tested positive and he presented to us on the seventh day. He was using medication suggested by his friend, and he had breathing problem and he had chest congestion, and his score at 6 was 6, and the severity score was 12 by 40. His SpO2 readings were 97, and his pulse rate was 92. But even then, he had a breathing problem and chest congestion. So what I did was, like, the plan was, I started him on vitamin D3 60,000 units every half an hour for 5 hours, and then followed by 1 hour dosing, and then followed by 3 hour dosing. And then ultimately, he was put on the maintenance dose of 4 capsules per day. And this patient is actually, he actually recovered and is doing well right now. So this is a very mild case where he actually was able to catch the, like, this case is where the symptoms were early, and the patient was been addressed in the first week itself. So now let's look into another case. This case, the patient was 73 years old male. He was tested positive, he was vaccinated. He was not able to eat any food because he was having pain in his throat, and he was having like very little amount of food, like baby amounts. He also had vomitings and he had cough. The time he presented, he had SpO2 oxygen level of 93, and the pulse rate was 101. So the treatment for him was, I started him with 1 hour dosing, of vitamin D3, 60,000 capsules, and ultimately he came to a maintenance dose of 4 capsules per day. And if we look at the parameters during the vitamin D3 course, we can see here 95, 94, 95, 95, 95. And ultimately, on the maintenance dose, his oxygen levels came up to 96. And right now, his oxygen levels are above 96, and his pulse rate has also come down. And this patient has also recovered, and he's doing very much fine. Now, this is a little bit moderate case, and let's go on to the next case. Now, this case, she's a patient, 68-year-old female. She tested positive and she presented to us on the 8th day. Now, if we look here on 7th May, she had body pains, fever, and she had other symptoms. She just bought medicine from a medical store, and then she took it. But on 10th May, the symptoms repeated, and then she took medicines advised by an RMP doctor. And then 13th May, her rapid antigen test indicated positive. 14th May, she got her CT scan done, and it reported saying it had 20% lung infection. Then she was taken to a hospital with O2 level of 96, and the doctor advised her to stay home and follow quarantine. And then 15th May, what happens was her oxygen levels like dropped down to 93 and 95. And on 16th, like after having a hot water bath, her levels dropped down to 84. And on the same day evening, she was taken to the hospital. 19th and 20th, she received remdesivir, and her levels dropped to 80 again. Now on 21st May, she presented to us, and then with an oxygen level of 93 and 86. So if now this, why I'm explaining this timeline here is, if you look here, from 7th May to 21st May, she's been like roaming around with other medications and the preventive kit and everything, but nothing like she didn't recover. She didn't feel well. Her oxygen levels kept on just decreasing. Now, when she presented to us, we gave her one Arachidol 6 lax injection, that is vitamin D3. And then we started her with a treatment with like every 15 minutes for 5 hours, and then followed by 2 capsules every 1 hour, followed by 1 capsule every 3 hours. And ultimately, she was put on a maintenance dose. Now, if we look at her oxygen levels, 88 without oxygen support, and then 95 with oxygen. So it's been increasing. Her oxygen levels ever since she started the vitamin D3 treatment, they have been increasing. And right now, this patient is still under recovery. She's doing good. Her oxygen levels without oxygen is 93, and with support it's 97. So why I'm presenting this case is just running around for tests to be done, and for other medicines. See how much time she has lost, and look at the inflammation that her lungs have developed over the time, which is why it's taking time for her to recover. If only this patient had been addressed before, and if the vitamin D3 treatment had been started before, she would have recovered very fastly. So that is this case. So this is like a moderate severe case. And the next case is, this is a patient, 45-year-old male. He tested positive and he presented to us on the 5th day. Now, he had breathing problem as well, and he had severe cough. And he presented to us with an oxygen level of 85 and a pulse rate of 105 with a 30 to 40 lung infection. Now, during that time, what happened was we started him with vitamin D3 treatment with every half an hour dosing. Um, and then he was taken to because he had severe cough, his oxygen levels actually improved when we started him with the vitamin D3 treatment. His oxygen levels shooted up to 92. But since he had severe cough, his family panicked, and then they took him to the hospital. Now, even after hospitalization, his cough did not subside. So he was put on oxygen support, and then they called me back again saying his oxygen levels are dropping, please help us. So I restarted him on the vitamin D3 doses with their permission. And then we followed the same course for him. Um, so if we look here, after he was put on maintenance dose of 4 capsules per day, we kept reducing the doses, starting with every half an hour. His oxygen levels gradually increased without any oxygen support. He was discharged. He came home on an oxygen concentrator. I would like to say that this patient is completely now recovered and he's doing well. His oxygen levels are above 96 and he has a normal pulse rate. Now, all this recovery process started after the vitamin D3 treatment had been started on this patient. So this is another case. It's actually mild, but it developed to moderate because in between, when the family panicked, vitamin D3 administration wasn't done and there was a huge gap. So that this it progressed to a moderate disease case. And I would like to present the last case. Now this patient, 46-year-old male, he was not tested, but he had symptoms. Good thing that he approached us while he had symptoms. He had high fever and high cough. He presented to us with a oxygen level of 96 and pulse rate ranging from 90 to 120. So then we started vitamin D3 doses on this patient. In the meanwhile, what happened was one day during the nighttime, his oxygen levels fell down to 88. Arachital was given to him. His oxygen levels shooted up to 95. But then later, what happened was he became very lethargic. He became very weak. And he thought that weakness was due to vitamin D3. I would like to tell everybody, please just note this point, that weakness and lethargy is a characteristic of the COVID disease itself. It's not because of vitamin D3. I've convinced him a lot, but then he refused the treatment. He refused taking the D3 doses. And what we can see is his oxygen levels went down to like 65, 50 within 5 hours. Within 5 hours, it was like very rapid. It took us so much, like it took us time to get him to 95, but then he refused the treatment, and then sadly, unfortunately, the patient passed away. So this is one of the negative outcomes of not taking vitamin D3 continuously and refusing the treatment that I've seen in this patient. So the first case was mild, he recovered quickly. Second case was moderate, recovered slowly because he came to us lately. He approached the team lately. Third case was severe. She's still under recovery because her inflammation is more. And the fourth case, as we already discussed, it was mild, but because of the gap, it developed to a moderate disease. And fifth case, it was mild, but again, because the patient refused the treatment, it became severe and the patient passed away. So it's not just these cases. I'm just like I just summarized it to 5 patient cases, but we're seeing a lot of them who've been recovering, who are recovering with this vitamin D3 treatment. It is definitely working, and it is showing positive outcomes in COVID patients. And I myself have experienced it. So I am a live testimony to say vitamin D3 is working. And definitely early detection and early treatment also matters. And also continuous administration of vitamin D3 in these patients helps recover the oxygen levels. And one thing I would like to say is, please don't run around CT scans and test reports. Now there is another case where the patient, he had a CT score of 1 or 2. His RT-PCR came back negative, and then he went to he definitely had symptoms. What happened was, he went to a pulmonologist, and the pulmonologist said, "Oh no, you're completely fine. It's not COVID. You just have a normal viral fever." And then he just gave him some medications for that cold and cough, and he sent back the patient home. Unfortunately, 10 days later, all his symptoms did not decrease, and the condition just became worse. And he got another CT scan, and the disease progressed to um, 10 by 25. And when he went to the pulmonologist, what the pulmonologist said was, "Oh, you need immediate admission. You have COVID." So what I would like to say is, please don't run around these CT scans and test reports. When you have symptoms, just start vitamin D3 right away. That will help you from not being hospitalized. And any person of any age can take it, no matter like what comorbidities the patient has. So this this is, I would like to conclude. I would like to really thank you, Dr. Bhanuprasad Garu, and team for giving me this opportunity to serve different patients, COVID patients. Thank you, Prakash Garu. Thank you so much.